What's going on, everyone? This is Fabi here, and today I'm presenting you the What's on My Mac video, in which we are obviously going to talk about the apps I have on my Mac. That's apps I have installed, and we are going to take a look at the apps through Launchpad, which is an interface I don't really use on my Mac since I don't have a MacBook. If you have a MacBook, you can actually access this interface through some pretty handy animations, or not animations, gestures. But me being on an iMac stuck with Mighty Mouse or Magic Mouse, I don't really use it. So the first apps are obviously the Apple apps that are stock on each and every Mac. But then the first app that I installed is Skype, which we all know and love. Then we have uTorrent, which is an app most of you probably have downloaded but don't want to admit it, or don't want to say it on YouTube because it is not as legal as we would like it to be. Then we have iTV, which is the software I use to record the gameplay from my Xbox and put it over on my computer, but obviously since I sold my HTPV, I don't use it anymore. Then we have MPlayer X, which in my opinion is the best video playing software on Mac. Much better than VLC. I know a lot of you guys will get upset over that, but that's just my opinion. Then over here we have Dropbox, which is my favorite file sharing software or software service. So if you guys want to sign up for Dropbox, I'm going to make sure to put a link in the description down below so you guys can redeem my code kind of thing. Then we have Google Earth, which is an app I don't really use a lot, but it's kind of nice to just go in and have some fun every once in a while. Then we have Audacity, which is a software used to record my voice every so often when I do commentaries, but most of the time I just use iMovie's built-in voiceovers feature pretty much. Then we have CamTwist, which is something that I used for my live streams. Then we have the Unarchiver, which is a handy dandy kind of like WinRAR for Windows sort of program. Then we have QuickTime Broadcaster and Soundflower. Now both of these I used to use for my live streams. Then over here we have iExplorer, which is in my opinion one of the better apps I have on my computer because it lets me browse to the files on my iPhone, iPad, iOS devices generally, and see, search for backups, search for apps, search for files, search for things that got lost in the file system. And even though Apple doesn't really let you look at the file system, with this app you're able to. Going on, we have Teamviewer, which we obviously all know. It's a software that lets you use and control other computers from far away. Over here we have Mafia 2, which I used to play on Mac every so often, but not a lot of times. Here we have Remote Mouse, which is one of the more useful apps I have on my computer because it lets me basically use my iPhone as a mouse when my Magic Mouse dies out, or when I just sit in bed and I want to, for example, skip a song or do something like that. It's just really dandy. Then over here we have the Degrees app, which shows up over here in my top bar, and it tells me the weather. And it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Then over here we have Xcode, which I use to code some iOS apps because lately I started to code, and so it's really a really cool developing software. Over here we have Mac Tracker, which is something I wanted to show you guys because not a lot of you might know about this, but it's a really cool app for those of you who love Apple products because you can see pretty much each and every Apple product over here. All of the versions, the year they got released in, and like everything is over here. You want devices, you get the software, you get everything, and it's updated pretty regularly, so it even has the newer things. But you can go all the way back to the 1998 iMac or to the classic Macintosh from 1984. It really has all of the devices. Let's go, for example, to the iPhone. Let's just find it. It should be somewhere around here, but I can't find it right now. iPhone, and we have the iPhone 5. It hasn't been updated for iPhone 5S, but I'm sure it's going to be updated because they update it pretty regularly. So, going on, we have Audio Jack or Audio Hijack Pro, which is pretty dandy for when you want to record Skype conversations to use in the commentary. Here we have Screenflow, the app which I use to record my screen right now. Calibre, which is a pretty handy app if you want to, and I think it's available for both Mac, Windows, and Linux. If you want to, for example, convert a PDF to a I think it's called the EPUB or something like that. You can actually convert PDFs to books, so you can put them in iBooks and read them, and it's pretty cool. Over here we have 3 Adobe apps. I mostly use Photoshop for my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Here we have Tweetbot, which is my favorite Mac Twitter client. You guys all know that I am a Twitter fan. So over here we have Evernote, which I use every so often to write some notes down. Over here we have Air Server, which is again one of the other really cool apps on my Mac. Pretty much it makes your Mac an Apple TV. It simulates an Apple TV in that if you have an iPhone, you can actually mirror your iPhone screen, or just mirror everything from your iPhone, from your iPad on your Mac screen. So it's basically an Apple TV, and it works really, really great. Over here we have the Translate tab, which it's over here in my tab. Let me find it right here, and it's basically Google Translate accessed very quickly. Then over here, let me see, we have VLC, which I use every so often, but as you guys know, MPlayer X is my preference. Over here we have the iWork suite, iWork 09 I think it is, and I love all of these apps, but I don't use them all that often. Over here we have the Canon EOS Utility, which I use every so often for my videos, so I can actually control my camera from my computer and watch the live feed from the camera. Then we have the Beamer app, which is again another really cool app, which allows pretty much your iMac screen, not your iMac screen. You can actually import videos into this app in order to stream them over to an Apple TV, and I use that a lot of the times. I just download, for example, TV shows for my dad, and I stream them over to his Apple TV. Then over here we have Game Dev Tycoon, which is a game I haven't played all that often, but I'm a huge fan of Game Dev Story on iOS, so I'm definitely going to play this a lot more. Over here we have Civilization 5, which I haven't got around to play, but I downloaded because I saw it on Reddit and a lot of people seem to like it. Over here we have iStumbler, which I think is used for something related to YouTube and video editing, but I can't really remember. Over here we have Phone Clean, which is another great app that allows you to basically delete the crap off your phone, or basically of your iOS devices. What it does is it searches for cache, it searches for temporary files and stuff that your phone doesn't need. It's basically just crap that just loads up your memory on your iOS device, and it deletes that, and no data is deleted, so your photos and everything is just intact. Nothing gets lost. It's just the crappy files that you don't need anymore. Over here we have Google Chrome, which is my secondary browser. I use Safari as my main browser. I mainly use this when I just need another browser, and that's it. Over here we have Spotify, which is my favorite music streaming software or music streaming service, and it is great. If you guys want to download it, just download it. I might put a link so you guys can actually use my link to give me some Spotify Gold or Premium, whatever it's called. And over here we have Pocket Planes, which is a game that I used to play last year, but I haven't got around to delete it, so let's just delete it right now. Even though it's a game I really like, I used to play, but now I play Pocket Trains on my iPhone more. So this is pretty much it as to what I have on my Mac, but I also want to show you guys what I have in my dashboard. And as you can see, there's nothing really interesting other than this guy right here, and it's called it's called iStat Pro, and it basically allows you to see all of or to monitor everything that happens in your Mac. So all the way from your CPU, memory, disks, networks, temperatures from CPU, GPU, and all those things, fans, mouse and keyboard battery, all the way up to uptime. It really is a great tool for your Mac. And then other than that, I also want to show you guys what I have in my bar up here. It's mostly just Dropbox, Skype, Evernote, Air Server, and this guy right here. And of course, I forgot to say this, Google Translate and the weather thing. Yeah, I don't really remember what it's called. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, share it with your friends on Facebook, on Twitter, like my Facebook page, and follow me on Twitter. I'm probably going to do more videos like this on my iPhone and on my iPad, on my iPod Touch 5th generation, so you guys can see what kind of apps I use on my devices. So peace out, guys. Peace. Have an awesome day. Stay tuned for more.